Hi bakers, and welcome back to the Kenwood Kids Club, where today I'm going to be showing you how to make custard creams. Yes, these are completely homemade, if you can believe it. As always, you'll find the full list of ingredients down in the video description. We're going to start by creaming together the butter and sugar in the bowl of our K-mix until it's really pale and smooth. Next, add the flour, the custard powder, the milk and the vanilla, and mix it again until it comes together into a smooth biscuit dough. If you need to finish this off by just kind of wiping the bowl with the dough, that's fine. And then you're going to want to lay out a large piece of cling film and place the dough on top. Press it nice and flat and then wrap it up tightly. I like to finish mine off with a rolling pin because it gets it into a nice rectangle shape, giving me a bit of a head start on the next step. Pop that in the fridge for around about 30 minutes until it's nice and cool and pretty solid. While it's doing that, you can preheat your oven to 180 degrees, which is 160 fan or gas mark 4, and line 2 large baking trays with non-stick baking paper. When you're ready to roll out your dough, start with half at a time just because it's a little easier to handle, and you want to roll it out until it's less than 5 millimeters thick. The thinner your biscuits are, the crunchier they're going to be. Use a sharp knife to slice your dough into neat rectangles, approximately 4 centimeters by 5 centimeters, and then recombine and repeat this until you've used up all of the dough. At this point, I do need to show you this awesome biscuit cutter that I found online though, and I'll link this down in the video description. If you track this down and you want to make your biscuits using the cutter, simply roll at them out again, and then instead of cutting them with a knife, you can just use the cutter, making sure you push down the plunger to impress the pattern. However you've made your biscuits though, once you've cut them all out, you can place them on the lined baking trays, and if you're not using the cutter, use a fork to prick the top of each biscuit 3 times. That's just going to stop it rising in the oven and keep them nice and flat and hopefully nice and crispy. Bake them in the oven for around about 12 to 14 minutes until the edges are just beginning to go golden, and then you can take them out and leave them to cool on the baking tray for around about 5 to 10 minutes. After that time, transfer them onto a cooling rack and you're going to want to cool them down completely. While they're cooling, we can make our filling, which is basically like a buttercream but a little bit thicker. Start by creaming your butter in the bowl of your stand mixer, and I like to use the creaming beater for this because it means I don't have to keep stopping and scraping the bowl. And once it's really pale, almost white, we're going to sift in the icing sugar, the custard powder and some vanilla extract. Mix again until it's completely smooth, and then when you're happy, you can transfer it into a piping bag. When you're ready to assemble your custard creams, begin by matching the biscuits into similar sized pairs and turn over one of each pair. Pipe between 6 and 8 small blobs of filling onto each of the overturned biscuits and then top it with its pair and repeat until all the biscuits have been filled. If you can wait that long, I do find these biscuits are best on the second day because it's given the filling a time to stiffen up, which makes them a bit more like short bought custard creams. I do hope you enjoyed learning how to make my homemade custard creams. I'll be back at the same time next week with another quick and simple bake along, but until then, as always, take care and happy baking.